As I look at John's head, I'm struck by the lower jaw and the way that the whole thing moves forward a bit. So the muscles around the mouth bring the jaw forward. What I'm trying to do is break down these forms so that I really understand how they interact. In other words, how they fit together in order to do it. Now his eyes are deep set. So one of the things that I want to do as I begin to draw the eye is to really accept how far back it is relative to the plane of the nose. One of the things that people have trouble with is seeing the eye in perspective. In other words, that you're seeing the eye from the side, so that you really have to think about the eyeball existing in the position that it's in. What helps me to think about where the eye is, to make two arcs that represent the edge of the eyeball, so that what I'm doing in doing those arcs is imagining how the eyeball is turned, and then to see that the iris sits in the wraparound of the eye in the way that it does. Some of the lines I've made are not right. That's a perfectly natural thing to happen, because as you draw, part of your mind is saying, I'm going to try it like this. The process of drawing is a really live process, and not like a dead thing. Oh my God, I can't change anything because I made that line, 5 minutes ago. You can always change things. Here, I'm going to make some lines that are like sculptural lines that I'm feeling as I make that group of lines, that I'm describing a form and not just an edge. Edges are very attractive. People love them. And of course, we do describe a lot of things with edges, but it's also very important to describe things with groups of lines that are like enclosing lines. The clothes, in one way or another, are always wrapping themselves around the body. So I really want to feel it moving around the column of his neck. So as I make that curve, I'm really thinking it's moving around the column of his neck. Now you notice that I've really left to this stage in the drawing to even get involved with what is dark, the idea of the hair being dark and the eyes being dark. These are really, in terms of understanding what I'm looking at, those are really secondary issues. I mean, they're always very nice to finally put them in, because they give the drawing more sense of the person. Well, that is a basic analysis of the forms and how I came to build up those forms. I'm trying, in doing these drawings on camera, I'm trying to show people a way of addressing the large issues first and then getting to the details. One of the things that when people are drawing the whole figure or when they're drawing the face, they tend to want to compete with a photograph. The thing that I'm trying to show people is that a much more vigorous way of seeing the body or seeing the head is to analyze the big forms first. Because actually when we look at people, we tend to concentrate on the eyes, and so eyes and hairstyle. And so those are the things that we think give a person their particular visual personality. But in fact, a lot of it has to do with the forms of the head, the basic forms of, the slant of the brow, for instance, or how deeply the eyes are inset, or how much the nose protrudes out of the cheek. Everything, the cheekbones, the chin, all of the things that make up the complex interlocking form of the head are part of what you're looking at and should be part of what you draw.